The rain hit harder than I expected, washing the blood off my knuckles and into the black water below. London always looked cleaner in the dark, but that night, nothing could wash away what I'd done. I stared at the screen on my phone. One video file. My thumb hovered over the send button. "This is it," I whispered to myself. "Once I send this, there's no going back," a voice echoed behind me. "No going back from what, Luca?" My pulse froze. I knew that voice. Elias Ward. Calm, smooth, dangerous. I turned slowly. He was standing under the bridge light, cigarette glowing faintly between his fingers, rain sliding off his black coat. "You always did like dramatic places," he said. "Rain, bridges, guilt, all the classic ingredients." I swallowed hard. "You set me up, Elias." He smiled, the kind of smile that made people trust him. I used to trust that smile. "Set you up? Come on." "You were sloppy." "I just cleaned up your mess." "My mess?" I took a step closer. "You were stealing from Vincent, and when I caught you, you framed me to save yourself." He exhaled smoke into the rain. "You talk too much lately, Luca. That's not good for business." My hand tightened around the phone. "You always said loyalty was everything." He tilted his head. "It is. But loyalty to who? To a boss who'd throw you to the wolves? Or to the man who made you what you are?" "You didn't make me," I said quietly. "You broke me," he chuckled. "That's cute. But you know the rules. Nobody talks. Especially not to outsiders," I laughed bitterly. "Funny thing, Elias." "I already did." His smile vanished. The cigarette hit the ground. "You didn't." I held up the phone. "I did. Everything you did. Every shipment, every payoff, every murder. It's all here." "And I just sent it." He lunged at me. I stumbled back, his hand gripping my collar. The smell of smoke and metal filled the air. "You stupid bastard," he hissed. "You just signed your death sentence." I met his eyes. "At least I signed it myself." "You had someone else forge yours." He slammed me against the railing. Pain shot through my ribs. "Where's the file, Luca?" "It's already gone," I gasped. "Cloud storage. Sent to a journalist. She'll publish it all by morning." He stared at me, breathing hard. "You broke the code. You think they'll forgive that?" "I don't want forgiveness." I pushed him off. "I just want the truth out." He laughed, loud, unhinged. "Truth? There's no truth in our world. Just the last man standing." "Then I guess that's not you anymore." He moved again, fast. I ducked, grabbed the railing, and swung my fist. It connected with his jaw. He hit the ground, blood mixing with the rain. For a second, I almost helped him up. Old habits die hard. But then I remembered the night at the docks. The gunfire, the shouts, the fire reflecting off the water. I remembered how he'd whispered to me, "Sorry, kid," before walking away and leaving me to die. That memory burned hotter than the pain in my ribs. He groaned. "You think Vincent won't find you? You think the code won't catch up?" I leaned down, voice shaking. "Let him come. I'm done living in silence." He spat blood. "You always were soft." "Maybe," I said. "But at least I still have a soul." His laughter followed me as I walked toward the bridge's edge. My phone buzzed. A message popped up on the cracked screen. File uploaded successfully. My heart thudded. It was done. The whole syndicate was now exposed. I pocketed the phone, breathing out slow. The river below looked endless. Cold, black, merciful. Then I heard footsteps again. I turned, expecting Elias, but he was still on the ground, barely conscious. These steps were lighter, faster. Someone else. A man in a gray hoodie stood just beyond the light, face hidden. "Who are you?" I called out, no answer. Just silence and rain. Then from the shadows, his voice. "You shouldn't have sent it." Every hair on my neck rose. "Who sent you?" He stepped closer, water dripping from his hood. "You broke the code, Luca, and the code breaks back." Before I could reply, a flash, a camera. He snapped a photo, then vanished into the rain. I froze, breath ragged. Someone was documenting me. Someone already knew. Elias laughed weakly behind me. "Told you. You were never free." I looked down at him one last time. Maybe not, but at least now everyone will know who chained us. I turned away, walking into the downpour, the weight of silence finally lifting off my chest. My hands still shook, my heart felt hollow, but something inside me was burning, something alive. When I reached the end of the bridge, I looked back once more. Elias was gone. Just a trail of blood and cigarette smoke left behind. I whispered to the rain, "It begins tonight." And as thunder rolled over the city, I realized the truth. I hadn't just broken the code. I'd started a war. 3 months earlier, the world still made sense. At least I thought it did. Loyalty meant everything, and Elias Ward was the man I trusted most. We were standing in the warehouse that smelled of diesel and dust. Crates lined the walls, marked with the symbols only our crew understood. Elias clapped me on the shoulder. "Shipment's coming in tonight. You'll oversee it," I nodded. "Same dock?" He smirked. "You sound nervous." "I'm cautious," I said. "There's a difference." He lit a cigarette. "That's what I like about you, kid. You think before you pull the trigger. I don't like pulling it at all." He laughed, smoke curling through the cold air. "That's why you'll never make boss." I smiled faintly. "Maybe I don't want to." "Everyone wants power, Luca, even if they lie about it." His words stuck with me long after he left. Elias had a way of turning truth into poison, sweet but deadly. Later that night, I met Mara behind the Greyhound pub. The rain had just stopped, and the neon sign flickered above her head like a heartbeat. She was waiting, wrapped in her long coat, eyes full of worry. "You're late," she whispered. "Elias kept me," I said. "He's been watching everything lately." She sighed. "You shouldn't be here." "I needed to see you." Her voice softened. "You'll get us both killed." "I'll take that risk." She looked at me, searching my face. "You still think he doesn't know?" I hesitated. "If he did, I'd already be dead." Her eyes fell. "Then you don't know Elias as well as you think." The silence between us said what words couldn't. She finally spoke. "I love you, Luca, but love doesn't survive in this world." "Then let's burn the world," I said quietly. "Start over." Her lips trembled, but she didn't answer. Before I could say more, her phone buzzed. She checked the screen, then paled. "Who is it?" I asked. She hit it fast. "No one," but I saw the name, Elias Ward. My chest tightened. "Why is he calling you?" She shook her head. "It's business." "Business?" "You're not part of this life, Mara." She turned away. "Maybe I am more than you think." I grabbed her arm gently. "What aren't you telling me?" She whispered, "Not here." Then she slipped away into the alley, leaving me with the rain and too many questions. The next morning, chaos erupted. One of our drug shipments, gone. The police raided the wrong dock, the real one burned to ashes. Vincent, our boss, called an emergency meeting. We gathered in the back of the restaurant. The smell of expensive wine mixed with gun oil. Vincent sat at the head, his calm colder than the winter wind. Elias stood beside him, expression unreadable. Vincent's eyes cut through me. "Luca Hayes, you oversaw Dock 7 last night?" "Yes, sir." "And yet Dock 7 no longer exists." I swallowed hard. "Someone tipped them off." "We were set up." Vincent leaned back. "Set up? By who?" Elias spoke before I could. "He was the only one with access. Maybe he got sloppy. Maybe he got greedy." My stomach dropped. "That's not true." Vincent's gaze never wavered. "Do you deny it?" "I'd never betray the family." Elias stepped closer, voice low. "Then prove it." "I will," I said. "Give me 24 hours." Vincent's tone was ice. "You have 12. When the meeting ended, Elias caught my arm. "You should have taken the blame. For something you did?" I snapped. He smiled. "That's loyalty." I shoved his hand off. "Loyalty isn't blind obedience." He leaned in, his voice almost kind. "You're too soft for this life, Luca. Sooner or later, softness gets you killed." That night I went to Dock 9, alone. The ashes were still warm. My gut told me to leave, but my heart told me there was something buried in the wreckage. As I searched, I found a burned-out radio device near a crate. It was still recording. I hit play, static. Then a voice, "Elias. Vincent thinks it's the cops. Let him. By the time he blames Luca, we'll have the next shipment already moved. He'll take the fall." My knees went weak. He'd planned everything. The setup, the betrayal, even my death. I gripped the recorder, rage clawing at my chest. A noise came from behind me, footsteps on wet gravel. I turned fast. Declan, my old friend and driver, emerged from the dark. "Jesus, Luca, you're supposed to be laying low." "Listen to this," I said, hitting play again. He listened, jaw tightening. "You've got proof." "Yeah," I said, voice shaking. "Enough to bury him." Declan looked around nervously. "Then bury it fast." "Elias has half the crew hunting you already." "I can't run," I said. "Not yet." "Then you'll die," he warned. I slipped the recorder into my jacket. Maybe, but not before I make him answer. Declan's eyes softened. You still love Mara, don't you? I hesitated. Love doesn't die just because it hurts. He sighed. Then let's make sure you don't die because of it. A gunshot cracked the air, close. We both ducked behind a crate. Declan cursed. They found us. I checked my gun. We're not going out quiet. Bullets tore through the shadows. I fired back, heart pounding, adrenaline burning. Declan shouted, "Go! I'll cover you!" I wanted to argue, but there was no time. I sprinted through the smoke, clutching the recorder. Behind me, his gunfire echoed, and then silence. When I finally reached the main road, I stopped only once to breathe. My hands were shaking. But the recorder was still there. I whispered to myself, "You set me up, Elias, but I've got your voice now." And in that moment, I knew this wasn't about survival anymore. It was war. I hadn't slept in 2 days. Every shadow felt like a gun barrel, every sound like a footstep too close. The code was breaking inside me, piece by piece. When I finally called her, my voice barely worked. "You're Ivy Clark, right? The journalist?" Her reply was calm. "Depends who's asking. Someone with a story you'll want to hear." Silence. Then, "If it's what I think it is, you'll want to meet in person. No phones. No names. We met in a cheap motel near Camden, the kind where walls had more secrets than guests." She wore a trench coat and no makeup, eyes sharp enough to slice through lies. "You're Luca Hayes," she said softly. "I thought no names. You're the man half of London whispers about, the one who vanished after Dock 7. I sat down. "Then you already know too much." She opened her recorder. "Tell me why you called." I stared at the red light blinking. "Because I'm done lying. I've got proof that Elias Ward framed me and that Vincent Russo covered it." Her pen froze. "You're breaking omerta." "I'm breaking myself," I said. "But silence already killed everything worth saving." She leaned forward. "Then start from the beginning," I exhaled. "You ever kill a man who trusted you?" She didn't answer. "I have. 3 of them. Orders from Elias. Said they were traitors. Turns out they were the ones trying to stop him. Their blood's on my hands because I believed him." Ivy's voice softened. "And now you're trying to make it right?" "There's no right," I said. "Just less wrong." She clicked her pen. "How did Elias frame you?" I told her everything. Mara, the docs, the recording. Every word scraped out of me like glass. She listened, silent except for the scratch of her pen. When I finished, I said, "That's the story you came for." She studied me. "That's not a story. That's suicide. Maybe that's the point." She set the pen down. "You could disappear. I can help with that. No one has to know it was you." I laughed bitterly. "You think I called you to hide?" "No, I called you to burn it all down." Her eyes flickered. "You sound like a man with nothing left." "That's exactly who I am." A car passed outside, headlights cutting through the blinds. My instincts flared. I checked the window. She frowned. "Paranoid much?" "Paranoia keeps me alive," I muttered. "Trusting the wrong person got me shot at." "You can trust me," she said. "Maybe," I said. "But why do you already know my name, Ivy?" "Who told you?" Her jaw tightened. "A contact. Name?" She hesitated. "Elias Ward." My chest went cold. "What?" He said you wanted to talk. "Said you were ready to tell your side." I stood up fast. "He sent you?" "Wait, he didn't say it like that. He said you were innocent." "Innocent?" I snapped. "Elias doesn't use that word." She raised her hands. "Luca, sit down. If he's tracking you, we can—" "Tracking us," I cut in. "You brought him to me." Her phone buzzed on the table. She glanced down, color draining from her face. I snatched it before she could hide it. On the screen, text, "He knows." I looked at her. "Who sent this?" She shook her head. "I swear I don't— Who?" I shouted. She whispered, "Elias." The room felt smaller. My heartbeat hammered like a clock counting down. I grabbed the recorder, hit stop. "You set me up." "No," she said quickly. "He threatened me. Said if I didn't meet you, he'd kill my brother." I stared at her, trying to decide if it was truth or another trick. "You expect me to believe that?" "I didn't record for him," she said. "I did it for you, to get your side first." I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to. But Elias always played both sides until only his remained. Outside, another car stopped. Doors opened. Heavy footsteps. Ivy looked at the door, panic spreading. "He's here." "How do you know?" She swallowed. "Because he said he'd send that text right before he came." I checked my gun. One clip half full. Not enough for a war, but enough for a message. Is there a back exit? Bathroom window, she said. Small, but the doorknob rattled. We froze. Luca, a voice called from outside, calm and cold. You always did have a big mouth. Elias, I whispered. He won't leave until one of us is dead. Ivy's hands trembled. Please let me help you, I pointed to the recorder. Keep that safe. If I don't make it, you get it out. She shook her head. You can't go out there. I already broke the code, I said. Might as well finish the story. The door creaked. I moved toward it slowly, heart pounding so loud it drowned out the rain outside. Elias's shadow filled the gap. You look tired, Luca. Confession wearing you down. Only thing wearing me down is you. He smiled faintly. Still got that temper. Let me in. We can talk. I raised the gun. We're done talking. He laughed softly. You think you can kill the devil you helped create? I took a breath. I don't need to kill you. I just need the world to know you exist. For a moment, everything went still, just rain, breath, and heartbeat. Then a crash of thunder, and the door burst open. The first bullet shattered the window. I hit the floor before I even thought to breathe. Down, I yelled. Declan dove beside me, gun drawn, eyes wild. How the hell did they find us? I hissed. Someone talked, he growled, returning fire through the glass. How many? Too many. The air filled with smoke and the stench of gunpowder. Ivy screamed from the corner, clutching her laptop. Get her out, Declan shouted. I'm not leaving, she cried. Move. I grabbed her wrist and dragged her behind the counter. They'll breach any second. Declan reloaded. You owe me a drink for this, Luca. Yeah, make it a funeral toast. He smirked. Yours or mine? The door exploded inward. Shadows moved, I fired. Someone screamed. Declan went down. Declan! I crawled to him, blood pooling under his ribs. He coughed, gripping my sleeve. Go, you still got a chance. No, go. His hand shoved me so hard it left his blood on my shirt. Then he fired again, covering us. I pulled Ivy toward the back door. My ears rang from the gunfire. She stumbled, trembling. Luca, I didn't mean... Not now. We crashed into the alley. Rain fell like shards of glass. My heart slammed against my ribs. Keep running. We didn't stop until we hit the underpass. The silence after the gunfire was worse than the noise. I turned on her, breathing hard. Talk, now! Her lips quivered. Elias, he made me. What? He found me before you did. Said he'd kill my sister if I didn't bring you in. Tears streaked down her face. I thought I could protect her. I stared at her, stunned. So all this, every word, you were his bait? At first, she whispered. But then I saw what he'd done to you. To Declan, my stomach twisted. You lied to me. I didn't have a choice. You always have a choice. I chose now, she said, stepping closer. I sent the files, Luca. Every recording, every name. They're online, I froze. You what? It's done, her voice broke. You're free, or you're finished. The weight of her words sank into me like a bullet. Years of secrets gone in a single click. Sirens echoed in the distance. You realize what you've started? I whispered. Maybe the truth should have come sooner. Declan's dead, I said, voice cracking. Because of this, she lowered her head. He died trying to make it mean something. The phone buzzed in my pocket. Unknown number. I almost ignored it, but then I saw the name, Vincent, the boss. I hesitated, then answered. Vincent, his voice was calm, like the eye of a storm. You've been busy. I didn't have much choice. You always had one, he said softly. You just picked the wrong side. Maybe I finally picked mine. He chuckled. Brave words for a dead man. Then why call me? Because I'm not here to threaten you. He paused. I'm offering you a deal. I almost laughed. A deal? After what I just did? You exposed Elias, not me. He overreached. I warned him. I frowned. So what, you let him hang? He broke my code. Same as you. Then we're both guilty. Maybe, he said. But guilt can be useful. I can protect you, Luca, you and your journalist friend. In return, you work for me again, quietly. I looked at Ivy. Her eyes widened, hearing every word. Why me? I asked. Because you know how deep this goes, and because no one else would trust you now. I don't trust you either. Trust is a luxury. Vincent said. Survival isn't, I hesitated. The rain outside turned the world silver, washed in guilt and ruin. What happens if I say no? Then Elias finishes what he started. And I won't stop him this time. The line went dead. I stood there shaking. Ivy stepped closer. What did he say? He wants to make a deal. With you? Yeah, the devil's running short on souls. She swallowed hard. Are you taking it? I didn't answer. My chest felt hollow. Declan's gone. The syndicate's ashes. And I stopped. Saying her name hurt too much. She might still be out there. Ivy said quietly. No, I said. If she was, she'd have called. She saw the videos. She knows everything now. Silence. Only the hum of the city bleeding through the rain. I leaned against the wall, sliding down till I hit the cold concrete. I thought truth would set me free. All it did was burn everything I ever loved. Ivy crouched beside me. Maybe that's what freedom is, Luca. Fire. I looked at her, searching for something human left in both of us. Then what's left after it? She met my eyes. Whatever survives. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. The rain outside became the only witness. I took out my phone, looked at Vincent's number, and whispered, "Let's see what survives." Then I pressed call. It'd been 21 days since I vanished. London hadn't noticed. It never does. The rain came softer now, more like a memory than a punishment. I sat in a cheap cafe, the same one Ivy first found me, watching the headlines scroll across a flickering TV. Elias Ward, found dead in his penthouse, suspected poisoning, I whispered. Guess the devil cashed his own check. The barista glanced at me. Sorry? Nothing. I forced a smile. Just talking to ghosts. My phone buzzed once. Unknown number. No message, just a file. A voice memo. Mara's. I pressed play. Luca, she began, her voice trembling like it used to when she was scared but pretending not to be. I heard what you did. I don't know if I should thank you or hate you. Maybe both. I closed my eyes. I loved you, she said. But I can't live in that world anymore. You broke the code, and I broke my heart trying to keep up. I hope you find something that doesn't need saving. The message ended. Silence, I whispered. Too late for saving. Someone slid into the booth across from me. Ivy, hood up, eyes tired. You shouldn't be here, I said. Neither should you. I thought you left. I did, she said. But ghosts don't stay buried long, do they? I stared at the rain outside. Elias is gone, I saw. Vincent? Untouchable. He's already rewriting the narrative, blaming Elias for everything. Classic Vincent, I said. Even the cleanup looks like strategy. She watched me for a long moment. So what now? I disappear. That's it? That's everything. I stirred the cold coffee. He offered me a deal, remember? Said I could come back. I told him no. You don't think he'll come after you? I smiled faintly. Let him try. He built me to survive. You could have taken the offer, she said. Started over, different mask, same game. I'm tired of games. She leaned back, folding her arms. Then what's left? Silence, I said. Real silence. You think peace comes that easy? Nothing about this was easy. She studied me. Mara loved you. I know. And you loved her. I did. Then why let her go? I met her eyes. Because love without truth is just another lie. She nodded slowly. And truth without love? Lonely, I said. But at least it's honest. Outside, the city's lights flickered against puddles, the world still turning like it never bled. I stood. You should go. What about you? I've got somewhere to be. Where? Back where it started. She hesitated. Be careful, Luca. I stopped being careful when I started telling the truth. I left her there. The rain followed me to the bridge. The same one where I'd once stood with blood on my hands and guilt in my chest. Now there was only quiet. I leaned on the railing, staring at the river swallowing the city lights. The code, the oath, the silence. All of it seemed smaller now, like an echo fading out. I said softly, the code was never about silence. It was about fear. The words drifted away with the mist. I broke it, I whispered. And now I finally hear peace. For the first time in years, my hands weren't shaking. My phone buzzed again. I sighed, expecting Vincent. But it wasn't a call. It was a news alert. Breaking. A mysterious informant known only as The Voice has resurfaced. Leaks expose another criminal network operating within London's elite. I laughed under my breath. Still out there, huh? A man beside me lit a cigarette, offered one. Hell of a story, that informant. Yeah, I said. Hell of a guy. You think he's real? Oh, he's real. I smiled faintly. Just hard to find. The man shrugged and walked away, leaving smoke curling into the rain. I looked back at the water. Somewhere in the reflection, I almost didn't recognize myself. The bruises were gone, the scars healed, the eyes quieter. I thought about Declan, his last smirk, his sacrifice. About Mara's voice, soft but final. About Ivy's hands trembling as she hit upload. All the ghosts lined up at the edge of my mind, nodding like they finally approved. "Goodbye," I whispered. No answer came, and I didn't need one. The rain eased to a drizzle. A bus rolled past. A couple laughed somewhere behind me. Life kept moving, indifferent but alive. I turned away from the river, pulling my coat tighter. No cameras. No shadows, no orders. Just me, a name no longer worth hunting. And for the first time, I didn't feel like I was running. As I crossed the bridge, I heard the echo of my own footsteps, steady, deliberate, free. The city could keep its secrets. I had already spoken mine, and maybe somewhere out there the voice would speak again, but not tonight. Tonight, London could rest, and so could I.